Mahiya has once again took aim at retired General Chiwenga before he speak, saying he wants to drop a bombshell, which means he knew what he was doing. He knew that he was taking on a retired General Chiwenga, saying going into the war or fighting the war during the liberation struggle does not give him the right to actually oppose what he purport has been agreed by the majority. So you can see clearly that 2030 term extension of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa within ZANU-PF corridors is not a done thing. Even up to today, there is still wrestling concerning the 2030 term extension of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. And I have always said that if you want to hear more what is happening within ZANU-PF, listen to what is being said, particularly by the Mnangagwa faction. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel this morning. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Apologies for the background noise. As I indicated yesterday, we are doing some upgrades in this area. So I will play what Douglas Mahiya was saying, an audio to be precisely.
I want to drop a bombshell. Then I will drop a bombshell. As long as you are not the president, as long as you are not the generality of the people of Zimbabwe, hapana anoramba zvataurwa noruzhinji rwevanhu. Hakuna ane simba rokuramba zvataurwa noruzhinji rwevanhu. Kana usiri wepresident, you don't talk about the presidency. Harisi juti rako kuti utaure nezvechokuita noupresident kana iwewe usiri wepresident. Kana even ivo president vakatozomanikidzwa kwavo kutozopinzwa pavice kuti aiwa president toda kuti mupfuurire tikavaita persuade kuti vapfuurire. Hapana ane mvumo yokuti inini I'm more qualified to be president. Unotaurirwa nevanhu. I think mandizwa isu patakatiri kuhondo takaziva kuti kuchaitwa maconstitution. We were going to write a constitution. Nokuti ZANU-PF, ZANU and ZAPU were governments in exile. Titles of it a constitution. But takataurana kuti kana tanyo kana yakuita zvatisingadi tinodzima tonyorazvo. So ku conference, our veterans, we were wondering. Takaita wanda in the register kuti no. Kochi chiri kunetsa gore rapera kubva kubhuruwayo tichisvika kuzoenda kwaMutare. Resolution takaita chiri kunetsa chii kuti tibva tangopedza nyaya yacho. What's the delay? Saka takazvirejista izvozvo semawo veterans. Allow me, Comrade Chairman, Comrade Masimiramba, to pass on my personal and on behalf of the war veterans kuti mutitendere to congratulate Comrade Chagwirei as a member of the Central Committee of the ruling party.
Well, so this is one of the DCC's programs that took place yesterday. Now, I want to dissect what we have just heard at the moment. Now, these activities were done to actually, number one, obviously to push for 2030 term extension and to send a message to retired General Chiwenga. We know that the person whom they are referring to as the one who is refusing 2030 term extension, they are referring to retired General Chiwenga, especially if we are to take what was presented on the dossier that was done by retired General Chiwenga. He went on to tell Mnangagwa the truth that you are behind these people who are talking about 2030 term extension. And after telling him so, obviously, in the presidium, and also there is a mistake that Douglas Mahiya makes. He says that no one should talk about issues of 2030 as long as he is not a president. Now, he is so stupid to say so, because retired General Chiwenga is also a vice president. Kembo Mahati is also a vice president. Even the Secretary General of ZANU-PF, they constitute, and the chairperson, they constitute what is called the presidium. Presidium is not a one-man show as Douglas Mahiya portrays it, but presidium consists of all these people. And then he actually, these people are double standard. You can tell that they are bootlickers of not. Now, afterwards, having said so, he said, no one should come against what people have spoken regarding the issue of 2030. But also he says, the very same people should not also be actually condemning this 2030. It should be Mnangagwa who has a say of what is going on. And by so doing, he was also exposing that Mnangagwa is behind this. He is just sending these fools because he is testing waters. He is testing temperatures. He knows very, very well the cost of what he is doing at the moment. And also the last thing, you heard him after spewing all the garbage against retired General Chiwenga, he went on to actually congratulating Gudawa Shetakwire. Now, look at this. It was not Gudawa Shetakwire alone who was co-opted into the ZANU-PF Central Committee, but there were others. I think there were about 5, if not more than 5, members of the Central Committee that were co-opted. But the attention has been on Gudawa Shetakwire. And something shows very clearly that Mnangagwa, it's either if he actually succeeds with 2030, I'm just saying if he succeeds with 2030, he wants to fire retired General Chiwenga and replace him with Gudawa Shetakwire. And if he fails to do so, they want to mobilize. That is why they are introducing Gudawa Shetakwire to these structures. Remember, Gudawa Shetakwire is a product of Harare province, of Goodwill's Masemiremba. Masemiremba has not learned a lesson. Actually, he has been warned several times about leading ZANU-PF in a manner which he is leading. And unfortunately, he caused the death of one of his security guards, leading to the conference that was done in Bulawayo by ZANU-PF. So, at the moment, what are we seeing? Behind the scenes, it's quite clear retired General Chiwenga is still standing firm on no to 2030 term extension of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. And there is high probability he is telling, and also you heard what he was saying, that going into the war, does not qualify you to be the president. That is what Douglas Mahiya was saying. So which means these are the discussions that retired General Chiwenga is putting across to Emmerson Mnangagwa behind the scenes, of course, that I should be the next person to take over. And not only that, I am overqualified to actually lead ZANU PF. And maybe the issues of succession are being discussed as we are talking at the moment, but it shall come to a time whereby discussion would be rendered futile, especially if the Mnangagwa faction proceed and actually introduce the bill to Parliament. From then it will be clear that it's no longer now a matter of communication. Diplomacy would have failed. Then there would be obviously the next phase that we have always predicted about. And it appears the Mnangagwa faction is prepared to, in fact, that is what they are gearing to do. They don't care about the lives of the people of Zimbabwe. They don't care about actually doing what is anti-people, because there is strong resistance against Emmerson Mnangagwa. The opposition is saying no. Term extension, no. We can talk about other issues, but when it comes to term extension of Mnangagwa, we are saying no. The people of Zimbabwe are saying no. And for the very first time, there is agreement that if this 2030 is pursued, Zimbabweans would be left with no option but to occupy the streets. So they understand it very, very well, and they are taking a risk. And by the way, they are banking on money. That money will actually be in a position to buy the soldiers. Look at the bonuses that have been given the civil servants this time around. Emmerson Mnangagwa adding on top of that. It is because of the political. But these bonuses, as much as they were given, they are insignificant, by the way, for someone to sell his or her destiny. But they are pinning their hope that the hungry civil servants, especially soldiers, will actually back this 2030 mantra. Because if diplomacy fails, then in simple terms, there would be definitely military intervention and protest as a way of getting rid of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So the drama still continues. More disrespect or going towards retired General Chiwenga by a group of war veterans, including Douglas Mahiya, that allowed themselves, it's just a few insignificant number of those war veterans. Otherwise, the majority of war veterans are solemnly behind Blessed Geza, as well as retired General Chiwenga. They are against the 2030 term extension of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So it's quite bad, because Mnangagwa's time is over. You can see whatever they try to do, no matter they try to actually raise their voices loud, people are not buying into this. They are spending a lot of money. If you look at the event that was done in Harare yesterday, the artists that were hired, all of those people were given money. And even the people that were recruited, they were transported to and from, and most probably they were given food. That is a lot of money, and also some funds that were pumped in the form of presidential funds that were actually introduced. All that. And also there is something interesting. All of a sudden, ZANU PF said there is a meeting they are postponing of welcoming the returnees, where they put retired General Chiwenga in that poster, and the meeting was postponed. Why was it postponed? Most probably because retired General Chiwenga said, don't include my name on this. Maybe they understand the temperatures within especially the Presidium of ZANU-PF. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Apologies of the background noise. It is because of the work that we are doing to upgrade this place. Also, you can watch our channel on Facebook. We are there, Tonpani Global News. Please kindly follow that channel in numbers. There is a lot that we are posting there. Videos that we don't showcase here, we are posting them there. So make sure that you also follow that page for latest updates. Sometimes when I'm not here, I'm busy updating that page. And we're also available